Let's see if you can get the answer to this problem. Feel free to stop the video, take out a sheet of paper, and give this one a shot. And if you have no idea what to do, then give it your best guess, and let's see how close you get. So here's how I approach the problem. I'm going to read this one out because I kind of need to digest some information. A function whose only roots are x equals 1, m2 means multiplicity of 2, x equals negative 2, which means multiplicity of 3, and x equals 3, with m1, which is multiplicity of 1, that passes through the point negative 1, negative 2, has a y-intercept of what? Okay, a couple things we need to digest here. Negative 1, 2, that is a coordinate point. So I'm going to write in an x as well as a y. Y-intercept tells me x is equal to 0. Okay, just a couple things that I recognize here. Now, I'm given the roots or the zeros of the polynomial. This is important because when x equals 1 is going to be a root, that means x minus 1 is going to equal to 0, or x minus 1, not like that. X minus 1 is what we call a factor, right? And a product of a factor makes up the polynomial, which we don't know what we're dealing with, but that's what we want to create, okay? So if we're given the factor, or if we're given the roots, we can write them as factors. Just set them equal to 0, and that expression is going to be your factor. So let's go and name our function Frank, or f of x. All right, so I got one root, which is x minus, or one factor, x minus 1. I have another one, x minus 2, add 2. So therefore, that's going to be an x plus 2. And then I have this x minus 3, right? Just using the opposite. And now the multiplicity, what is that? Well, a couple of things. Multiplicity is going to help us when we need to graph the polynomial. It tells us the behavior of how that graph is going to cross at that 0. If it's even, it's going to bounce. If it's odd, it's going to cross. But it takes on the behavior of that power, like an x cubed or an x squared. Now, in our case, we don't really care about that. All we really need to understand is the multiplicity is going to be the power of each of our factors. So x equals 1 is multiplicity of 1. That means, or 2, means it has a power of 2. This factor has a multiplicity of 3. And this factor has a multiplicity of 1. Now, you don't really need to write power of 1, but you could, okay? All right, so we need to figure out what is going to be the y-intercept. Now, the important thing here about this polynomial is this polynomial could still have these roots, but it could still be stretched and compressed, right? And it would still retain those certain roots. That's important to know, because it needs to go through the point negative 1, negative 2. Now, remember, y is the same thing. Y in this coordinate point is equivalent to f of x. It's still the output of an equation. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to replace this with a y, just to kind of make the substitution a little bit easier. And I'm going to put a scalar here, a. All right. And the reason why I want to do that is because I don't know if the graph written as it is, if a was equal to 1, would go through those points. What I want to do is I want to say, well, what value of a that I could stretch or compress this graph would allow it to go through the coordinate point negative 1, negative 2. Now remember, this is x and this is y. The reason why this is important now, guys, is I can replace all my x's with negative 1, all my y's with a negative 2 to then go ahead and solve for a. That will give me actually the true form of exactly what this polynomial is. So let's go and replace it. Negative 2 equals a times a negative 1 minus 1 squared, negative 1 plus 2 cubed, and a negative 1 minus 3 to the first power. So when I go ahead and calculate this over here, I have a negative 2 equals a. So you owe me $1, you borrow another $1, you now owe me $2, but you're going to square it. So therefore that's a positive 4. Negative 1 plus 2 is going to be a positive 1. Cubed though is just still going to be 1. Cubed is 1 times 1 times 1. And you owe me $1, you borrow $3 more, you now owe me $4, and it's raised to the first power, so it's just going to be itself. I can simplify this. 4 times negative 4 is going to be negative 16. I'll put that in front of the a, and then just divide by negative 16 on both sides, and I get a 1 over 8 is equal to a. Now, a mistake students might say is they say, hey, I see a 1 over 8, that's an answer choice. And if you're taking a test, or you're stressed out, or you're confused, or you're just worried about time, you might just circle 1 over 8. But again, understand, what is the question asking? The question is asking, the function of roots that passes through the point has a y-intercept. They want to know, what is the y-intercept, right? So the y-intercept is what y is going to equal when x equals 0. That is the definition of the y-intercept. This 1 over 8 represents the scalar. So this is not the answer, okay? Just because you see a number that you computed and you see it as an answer choice, don't go ahead and immediately just say, oh, yep, I'm done, and move on. Make sure you read the problem, understand the question, okay? So this, and again, I'm rewriting things in terms of y. You could still use f of x if you wanted to here, but now I know what a is, which is going to be a 1 over 8. And then I'm just going to rewrite everything, but I'm not going to rewrite with the x's because I want to save a little time. Remember, the y-intercept is when x is equal to 0. So I'm just going to rewrite this with my a, which is 1 over 8, but instead of using -1 when we tried to find a, I'm going to put 0. So 0 minus 1 squared times a 0 plus 2 cubed times a 0 minus 3 to the first power. Okay. And again, the value of y is going to be the y-intercept. So I hope it's an answer choice. Otherwise we didn't do something right. So let's see what we get. So 0 minus 1 is -1. -1 squared is going to be a 1. 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2, which is going to be an 8. And then times a 3, or negative 3. Okay, and so therefore, these are all in my numerator, right? 8's here in the denominator. So I get y equals a negative 24 over 8, which is y equals a -3. So when x equals 0, y equals -3, which is telling me my y-intercept, which you guys can see is going to be answer letter E. So hopefully this video was helpful for you. If you want to answer more questions, then check out the next video I have for here, or check out my lessons in the description down below. Cheers.